Okay, today I am going to talk about cognitive behavior therapy in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. But before we start our lecture, we have to chant Hare Krishna mantra. Please chant with me. Let's start. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So, cognitive behavior therapy and Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. How many from all of you who knows about cognitive science? Have you heard about cognitive science? Hello? Hello? Okay, let's start. Bhagavad Gita offers. Hello? Yeah, tell me.
Hello, yeah, so it involves, human psychology or, you can say neuroscience kind of thing, the way we perform our tasks, the way a person's nature is. So in that terms is what I feel.
Actually, cognitive psychology mainly deal with mind, how to work our mind and what is the process of our mind. So psychology and cognitive psychology both are different, but psychology is part of cognitive psychology. But cognitive psychology is somehow different from because cognitive psychology has include neuropsychology. Listen, let me complete. Cognitive psychology include neuropsychology, artificial intelligence, linguistics, how means what are our languages and how we are speaking and what kind of behavior means as well as psychology. There's all our five branches are joining and make a cognitive psychology. Cognitive psychology is a totally new branch of science, and by which we can understand how our brain is working and how our brain is processing about thought process, and how would we behave with the people, and what kind of reaction we will have. Means Bhagavad Gita offers a valuable literature on cognitive behavior therapy. We are actually mainly going to talk about cognitive behavior therapy. It has a determinate focus on removing cognitive distortion from the mind of Arjuna and remotivating him to fight a battle by the therapist Lord Krishna. Lord Krishna acted as a therapist in the battle of Mahabharata, and Arjuna, who was acted like a demotivated person and like a patient, and he had a many negative thought in his mind. So cognitive behavior therapy is mainly dealing with how to eradicate the negative thoughts from our mind. So cognitive psychology and cognitive behavior therapy is mainly dealing with this. And in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna as a therapist who conducted a lecture almost 4 hours of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, and CBD addressed the negative patterns and distortion in the way we look at the world and ourselves. Means many people are having a wrong thought, many people are judging all of us. So in this scenario, we have to think about dharma. We have to think of what is ought to do and what is ought not to do. And whenever we are thinking about the people, whenever we are thinking about society, means it should be a collective thought, it should be a collective decision, it should be in the favor of the society, not in favor of any individual one. Whenever we are thinking about others or a group of the people, and whenever we are working in a welfare of the group of the people, then is that something, whatever work we have executed, that will definitely beneficial for all of us or each and every individual one. So it all depend on our individual expectation and attitude and belief. So cognitive behavior therapy is mainly dealing with a belief, attitude, and as well as expectations. So in the previous lecture I have already told that our expectation, our desire are only and only main cause for our sinful activities. Means why we are impaired in sinful activities, because we are incurred in sinful activities because of our thoughts, because of our expectation, because of our desire. Only and only our desire which impel to all of us in sinful activities. The CBD model of Bhagavad Gita contain element of mindfulness, transcendental consciousness, which is far more result oriented than contemporary CBT of modern times. Means contemporary CBT, that is somehow different and means directly or indirectly related with CBT model of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So we are going to talk about how Lord Krishna motivated to Arjuna, and how Lord Krishna acted as a CBT, means cognitive behavior therapist, in the battle of Mahabharata. So during the distress, people often don't think clearly. Means whenever we are in distress, we are not able to think clearly, and their thoughts are distorted in some way. Means our thoughts are totally distorted in some way. And CBD help people identify their distressing thoughts and evaluate how realistic the thoughts are, and then they learn to change their distorted thinking. So CBD is mainly dealing about how to change our thoughts. Means I want to share one example with all of you. The two person, both father has passed away at the same time. One person is thinking that I am totally destroyed, my father has gone, so what will I have to do? And another person is thinking my father has gone, then I am become accountable, and entire family's responsibility on my head. So I have to do all such a work in my family. Means I have to take a responsibility. So one is totally become irresponsible or totally distorted, and another become responsible or accountable. So it's all about our eyesight, what we are thinking and what we are doing, and what kind of environment we are getting. In previous lecture I have already talked about environment, atmosphere. Environment and atmosphere both are both are too much important for nurturing of our children or nurturing of our thoughts, or as well as our expectation. Because if you are getting a different kind of atmosphere, different kind of environment from our family, then our thoughts, our desire will be something like that. So during CBD session, individual learn to identify and evaluate their spontaneously occurring verbal or imaginary cognition and correct their thinking. So it more closely resemble reality. Means it directly resemble the reality. Means in a CBT model, we are actually we are able to think what is the reality, and we are actually we can easily come out from the illusionary world, or means like ignorance. We can easily come out. This decreases that trace or distresses and help them to behave more functionally, especially in the cases of anxiety and or dementia, like a neuropsychological disorder. Whenever actually when I joined National Forensic Science University, Gandhinagar, Gujarat, and I joined master in neuropsychology, then I came to know about anxiety, about dementia and neuropsychological disorder. So I started how to deal on the basis of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So I am just reading my research paper on the basis of Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, which I have published in 2019, and I am trying to make all of you understand how Shrimad Bhagavad Gita useful to identify and to cure the neuropsychological disorder. So they learn to identify. Means the duty of the therapy is to make a learn to identify and modify the distorted belief. If the person has a wrong belief, then the particular patients would have to understand what kind of wrong belief, and therapy should have to do to make the particular person help to understand what kind of wrong belief, what kind of distorted belief in his mind or in his thought. So value of spirituality. So let's move towards Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. Value of spirituality have levering effect on cognitive behavior therapy. For instance, dialectical behavior therapy (DBT) is successfully amalgamation of CBT with a Jain principle. So epic Mahabharata, authored by Ved Vyas before more than 5,000 years ago. So here Lord Krishna talk about Ashtanga Yoga or many yogas like Karma Yoga, Sankhya Yoga, Bhakti Yoga, Jnana Yoga, and also Buddhi Yoga, and in current scenario there is a Raj Yoga. About Raj Yoga Swami Vivekananda talks. So Arjuna Visad Yoga means Arjuna has too much miseries, too much lamentation in the battle of Mahabharata. Why would I have to fight with this particular battle? Because if I kill my enemies, means my family men, they are actually standing before me. If I kill them, then what will I get? I will not get anything. Na? If Guru Drona is there, if Bhishma Pitama is there, then what will I get to kill them? Na? Because they are actually teaching. They are actually Guru Drona was a teacher. He taught archery to Arjuna. Then why would I have to kill my gurus? Arjuna thought like that. And in Moksha Sannyas Yoga, Lord Krishna here talked about in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. And Bhagavad Gita is full of advice on theory of cause and effect, making a doer responsible for the consequences of his deeds. Means whenever we are actually responsible, we are thinking what kind of consequences we have to face on the basis of our deeds, then we can easily come out from the wrong belief, and we can easily come out from the wrong thoughts. And it tackles the issue from the grassroots level of human thinking, because once Bhagavad Gita, once basic thinking of man is improved, listen it very carefully, once the basic thinking of man is improved, it will automatically enhance the quality of his action. So it's all about our thoughts, what we are thinking. If our thought has been improved, then our action will be improved. It will surely automatically enhance the quality of his action and their results. And in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, Arjuna was patient and Krishna was therapist. And Krishna derived a single session therapy to Arjuna, which lasted for 2 to 4 hours. And Krishna as a therapist, Arjuna as a patient, how did he behave? This Pandava priest Arjuna behave like what will I get? Madam, I am not able to fight this war. My entire body is shivering, and my Gandiva has been slipped from my hand. So what should I have to do? Madhav, I am not able to understand. And lastly, Arjuna stated, Madhav, I am not going to fight this war. Arjuna was a highly skilled person, an interpersonal skilled person. Negotiation, he has a skill, hypnotic skill he has. But however, he got lamented because of this thing. So as a Lord Krishna, as a therapist, but before Lord Krishna, I would have to say psychopathology of Arjuna. Psychopathology. Arjuna was much anxious and depressed in the middle of the battle of Mahabharata, and viewing all the kings, mentor, and relatives at the commencement of Mahabharata war. Verse number 29, 30, 32, 44, 45 of chapter 1 narrated about the psychopathology of Arjuna, and he mentioned it in the Krishna. He described about his psychopathology to Lord Krishna, and his mouth was shivering, entire body was shivering, mouth was dried, and goose of the skin and trembling, his entire body was trembling, and burning sensation throughout the body, and dizziness, etc. he felt. These all are about the symptoms of particular psychopathology or particular patients who are actually suffering from the anxiety or the particular neuropsychological disorder. So Arjuna was suffering from neuropsychological disorder like anxiety and dementia. And Lord Krishna, how Lord Krishna work as a therapist? Krishna is considered as a Lord in the Hindu mythology. He was supposed to have a supernatural power and rested in the community even by elders and Kauravas, enemy of Pandavas. Means he was relative and friend and well-wisher of patients Arjuna, and he possessed excellent interpersonal skill, negotiation skill, and hypnotic skill. Lord Krishna had these all skills. And cognitive behavior therapy, Arjuna's dilemma is outlined in the first chapter of Bhagavad Gita, which narrate his situation as the armies were about to commence the war. Means how to commence the war. Arjuna was in dilemma, and whether to perform his duty and fight for his right or quit the way in order to save the blood flow of the relatives and kinsmen and mentor during the war was a dilemma of Arjuna as recited in verse number 3, chapter number 2. Arjuna expressed about his dilemma in this particular verse number 3. Arjuna dropped his bow, his Gandiva, and turned it to Lord Krishna for guidance. Lord Krishna, now I am your disciple and please guide me accordingly. So Lord Krishna, the teaching of Bhagavad Gita delivered by Lord Krishna lead us to right course of the action, how to perform a right course of the action. And CBT therapies which address anxiety and conflict of patients help them with a symptomatic resolution and pave a path for his long-term recovery is in many ways similar to the resolution of conflict by Krishna in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. And actually on the basis of CBT we can understand how to behave, how to take a right decision in adverse circumstances or situation. So on the basis of CBT we can learn this thing. And Lord Krishna further said about patience, perception and blaming themselves for event beyond their control appear to be recurring them of depressed and theorized by Seligam, and the Arjuna's implicitly hold himself accountable for the destruction. Arjuna considered himself as accountable for the supreme destruction after battle of Mahabharata. This explains his depressed state of mind, because of he stated that I am only accountable for the destruction. Then he was in depression, he was in depressed state of the mind. Krishna stated in verse number 44, chapter number 2, introduction of the soul, Atma, being immortal, verse number 22, chapter number 2, that the Arjuna will not obliterate his enemy by mere destroying their perishable bodies. If we are destroying their perishable body, means our soul is imperishable, and our body is perishable. If we are destroying the perishable body, then nothing will happen, because Lord Krishna stated in verse number 22, Lord Krishna stated, Chatasya mrutyucha janmacha mrutyucha apaharasya natu dehina, means the person who has taken birth is sure to die, and the person who has died will surely take up birth again, unless that person will not make himself free from the cycle of the birth and death, and until person will not himself establish in the dharma, that particular person will definitely take up birth again and again and die again and again. So this is stated in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So what kind of lamentation you are having, what kind of miseries, what kind of distress you are having, Arjuna? Lord Krishna directly stated to Arjuna. And when we talk about conclusion of this paper, the intensity effect of feeling is inversely proportional to the strength of mind. Our feeling is inversely proportional to the state of mind, and outcome of surrounding and circumstances upon the mind depend upon the strength as a thought in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. So Lord Krishna stated here, our feeling, effect of feeling is inversely proportional to strength of mind. When actually our feeling will definitely, if our feeling is very low, then our mind will definitely to be in a good strength. If our mind is weak, then our feeling will be very high. So we have to think, we have to control our feeling, we have to control our expectation, we have to control our desire. If we are able to control our expectation, feeling, desire, emotion and sensation, then we can easily overcome from our mind. We can easily make our mind very strong. So this is stated in Shrimad Bhagavad Gita. This is all about CBT, and I want to give one example. This is actually real life example. I have seen the people, and actually one person got married with two girls, and before married with another girl, he has registered with one girl and registered marriage. He has registered with one girl, and as soon as he come to know, another girl who is very close to him and who is very dear to him and who is very close friend to him and who has helped him in many aspects, like a financial, emotion, mentally, many aspects. But at that time, one girl with whom he has got married by register, she was also love to him, and she was in depression, and she was in depressed condition. She stated that if you will not get married with me, then I will commit suicide. And her psychology was totally distorted. And when he got registered, and then another girl who want to get married with him, her psychology was totally distorted. So in order to balance of both of girl psychology, he has to got married with both girls. So here what is dharma here, means what is the meaning of dharma, and what is the meaning of this CBT, means cognitive behavior therapy. So in order to protect the people, means whenever we are thinking in the welfare of the people, we have to our action should be in dharma, because we are thinking, because our compassion is in our heart, compassion which one is raised in our heart. So we have to think about this thing, and there is nothing wrong to get married with two girls, because means his intention was to protect both girls and save the lives of the both girls. So nothing wrong in this, because as per Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, but our law stated something different. Our, like a criminal procedure law, our Hindu marriage act, Hindu marriage code, so both are stated something different. So what should we have to, that person has to do in this condition? The particular person has to take a decision to got married with both girls in order to save the lives of both girls. So I just want to ask all of you, whether what do you feel about this incident, about this case? So now it's your turn to tell me and reply me about my question. Anybody is there? Avilasa?
Yeah. So, as per my opinion,
Yeah, tell me.
like what do I say? Like it is a person's choice, I can say, or like as you said, the circumstances were such that he, like, as in any situation, everyone has a choice, right? So in the same manner, in your scenario, that person, X person, has taken a choice that to save the other person, he is marrying with more than one girl. Okay, so again, like it's on his decision whether he has to like protect, let it be any reason, like for protection he is marrying, or for any other reason. So he has the other choice also to not marry and go with his righteous path. Okay, so like it depends on
Actually,
person's choice.
situation was very
That's what I
typical for
feel.
that person. So that person has to do in any circumstances, because that person, the both girls were attempted to commit suicide, and he doesn't has any choice. If he took a sannyas, then what will happen? Both girl will definitely be in severe pain, and the both girl will have a lifetime trauma and all things. So he has taken this decision. So in this case, we don't have to judge, right? And we have to understand what kind of circumstances that person has to face. And also, means I'm only talking about cognitive behavior therapy and cognitive psychology, cognitive science. I'm talking because many people will surely judge him, because he has got married with two girls. But the reason, we have to think about the cause, the intention behind the particular action, rather than the consequences, or rather than to judge the people, right?
Yes, so like it is like everyone comes with their opinion. This is their experience. So they might feel that it is wrong. However, without judging,
But I
we
am
have to
saying
go
that,
ahead and
Abhilasha, sorry to
what
interrupt you.
that person has been through.
Sorry to interrupt you, but as per Shrimad Bhagavad Gita, I would have to say that whenever we are thinking about welfare of the others, if we have taken this kind of decision, then there is nothing wrong in it, because in order to protect the entire means Hastinapur, Draupadi had taken this kind of decision.
Yes.
Okay, so this is all about cognitive psychology or cognitive behavior therapy. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then you can ask me.
Very well covered, Ratendra, like in a very short span with example.
Actually, I have to do, because here I am only here to make all of you explain about this particular thing, and how Srimad Bhagavad Gita is related about the psychology, human behavior, linguistics, even artificial intelligence, or even parapsychology. Means there are many branch of the science that are directly related to Srimad Bhagavad Gita. If you are having any questions, any doubt, then you can ask me. Otherwise, I will end of this session. Actually, I was little bit fast because I have to make all of you explain many things. So I'm sorry if I was very fast.
Anyone wishes to ask or ask any query with any example or any understanding needed.
I think no one has a questions, right? So Abhilasha, you can end of the session, okay?
Yes, we can end. Thank you so much, Ritendra. Thanks everyone for
God
joining.
bless you. God bless to all of you. Hare Krishna. Radhe Radhe.